try to kill me, but they still wanna.
I very much like.
I'm trying to, huh?
Say what you know about that?
That's my stuff, boy. I'm trying
That song.
to figure out how to do this link. Hold up. Copy. Paste. Nah, bro. That server URL ain't working, bro.
What you mean?
They give you like a server. It says server URL, but that's not how I share this link. Bro, I can hear myself. Who's playing the music in the background? Is that you?
Yeah.
Nah, bruh. Hold up. Hold up, cuh. What up, blood? What up, cuh? What up, gangsta? What up, blood?
Since we ain't got nobody in here yet, hold up.
On
I
me.
got a pick. Beat myself up. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sending out the link.
Boy,
Young
you
blood.
acting like a. Well, then I'm a rapper. Either way you go. Nigga, why you be stressing me for time?
Just sending out the link. Should I spam everybody and just send a link to everybody in my timeline or on my Snapchat?
Do it.
All right, you ready, buddy?
I'm ready. Ready.
Okay. Okay. Man, we got 4 people watching now. Check us out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What up, people? Straight Talk
What's-
Podcast, live stream, Fella and Rev. Let's get the show on the road. It's almost midnight. We're doing the midnight edition this
Late
Friday,
night.
late night. 3 days
Midnight
before,
train to Georgia.
3 days before December 25th. Some people refer to it as Christmas. Others refer to it as December 25th.
Yeah, I already
Um,
know.
so yeah. Yeah, let's get the show on the road. Straight Talk Sports Podcast. Your boy Fella. I'm Fella. And then my partner here is Rev. What is it, Rev Ro? Yeah,
There you go. Come on,
that's his
put some
name.
respect on it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Put some respect on my name. Hey, I need to rewatch that. That's pretty good.
Oh, tree, yo. Stop
Oh,
playing
tree.
with my name.
All right, we should just start it at midnight, but it's okay. Whatever. All right, so we're gonna get the show on the road like we always do. Question of the day. Question of the day, and the day is December 22nd, going on the 23rd. And you want to lead off on this one, or you want me to go first?
I want to know what you're rocking with today, Josh.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go
I'm
first.
going ahead. I go ahead and lead it off to get the show off, going off right to a good start. All right, my question is talking about your Oklahoma City Thunder, because they not in the show. They not in the show today, so I just wanted to get this on out the way. Get it on out the way, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's been rumors floating around, rumors floating around of Well, first of all, your team is what, 13 and 14? What is it, 14 or
17 and
14?
15.
Okay,
17
17
and
and 15.
15.
Okay, my bad.
Respect. Respect it.
Okay, 17 to 15. Um, y'all losing. It's not looking the way y'all thought it was gonna look coming into the season. Um, Melo's not looking his same all-star self. Paul George is not really coming into his role as the second best player on the team. Westbrook is still doing his thing, but it's overall it's not working. 17 to 14 is just not that good, and some people are panicking
Mm-hmm.
so much so that they discussing, they thinking about trading Paul George. So I want to know your thoughts on if you think it would be smart to trade Paul George, and what would your solution be if so or if not?
First of all, Max, I think that is blasphemous. No, but I don't think that's the solution right now. You know, while looking over the record just in general, it's been rough, but I'm sorry, I got something in my tooth, Josh. That's what I'm real focused on. Mm,
Oh my
I just had to
god.
get in later. Anyway, I'm sorry.
This is what happens when you eat popcorn before you do a live show. This is what happens. L's in the chat. Everybody put an L in the chat.
But I was hungry. There it goes. It's out. Just realistically looking at the games, the problem is it's on the offensive end, for real, for real. I don't really think it's so much a problem as far as the players. I mean, don't get me wrong. Paul George has no-showed some games. So has Melo. And Westbrook has done typical Westbrook things and clucked a bunch of shots. So, for real, it's offensive. They are one of the league leaders as far as defensive. Teams aren't really scoring over 100 points on them off. But they get good leads in the first half. And it's that fourth quarter. Earlier tonight, they were up on the Hawks by 20. And then I turned on the live stream to watch the game, and it's a tie ball game with 11 seconds left. Like, I don't know what it is, but something about that fourth quarter, they can't get right. Now, today, they combined for, I think, 70 plus, and the other night, they combined for 60 plus. So it's just consistency, trying to keep that consistency through four quarters. So I don't believe at the end of the day, this team really is a trade needed. They just have to play the way they played against the Warriors a few weeks ago. when they beat the brakes off of them, if they could play that way consistently, they wouldn't be in this position. But they just too up and down. And then, like I said, there's been a couple games where Paul George got like 8 points or 0 points and a couple of assists. Like, that's unacceptable. So I think one of the things they need to tool around with is maybe bringing Melo off the bench just to mess with some things. Because whenever it's just Paul George and Russ, like Melo did sit out, they balled out. So I don't think Paul George really, you need to trade him. It's working with him. It's just trying to get all three of them on the same page. And realistically, I feel like it's too early to think about a trade. Maybe deadline. If through the rest of this month and then through half point in January, we still just this bad, you might want to consider, all right, what's available at the trade deadline? Let's just see what we can do. But as far as like right now, just give it some time. They've won their last, I think, they won like 2 or 3 straight, then lost to the Knicks. But that was the night after they went 3 overtimes, which shouldn't have happened. But like that's an understandable loss. Y'all just went 3 overtimes. Y'all tired. You probably ain't really got your legs under you for another years of basketball. So then they lost to the Knicks and then won 2 or 3 straight again. So they figuring it out. It took them a long time, but patience.
Patience is
I
key.
think they'll be all right. Yeah.
Okay, so you think they should stick it out?
I think they can stick it out. Like I said, I think one of the things they should consider is maybe bringing Melo off the bench just for a couple games to see what it does for the team, see how it helps.
Okay.
Because it may surprise them. The fact that D-Wade can come off the bench, the fact that we've seen other quality players come off the bench in the past. You think of players like Andre Iguodala, Jamal Crawford, they ain't on that same level as D-Wade and Melo, but they could be starters anywhere and are fine with the 6-man role. Eric Gordon could be a starting backcourt player somewhere, but he's perfectly fine and flourishing in the 6-man. Same thing with Lou Will. So why not give it a chance? Melo, you've been starting your whole career. Why not try coming off the bench to see how it can help your team? D-Wade realized early in the season, this isn't helping my team start. So JR can have his spot back. I'm going to come off, maybe Melo take the same lead and see if it works for him.
Okay. All right. With all that being said, I feel like I wanted. This is just me. I wanted you to be completely off the bandwagon. So because of that, I'm gonna give you a B plus. Solid B plus.
Wow.
It was a little too bandwagony for me. I mean,
What did you expect?
You're not on the bandwagon, but I thought I wanted to hear some tough love. That's your team. I want you to be upset, mad, 17-15. I'm angry.
No, I am a little salty.
I didn't get that.
The teams that we've been in these positions flustered. You know what I'm saying?
Cut out. What'd you say?
I said I'm trying to be cool. I'm telling them to can't be flustered, bro. I gotta say mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I were saying Presti, so I'm trying to be cool about it. Just chill.
Okay.
Low key need a new coach.
All right, we ain't gonna get onto that topic. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that, but we're just gonna move on. So, like I said, I'm gonna give you a B plus in that answer.
All right, GG.
You there?
Yeah. You ain't hear me?
Sure question.
Oh, okay. All right. My bad. All right, Josh. This is a little bit of a trivia type thing. Fun fact, question of the day. So, as you are aware, James Harden got 51 points tonight, and he had 51 points in the last game. You heard?
Yeah.
So, Harden is the first person to get 50 points in back-to-back games since this player 10 years ago. Who is that player, Josh?
Kobe Bryant.
All right, there you go. That's part A of the question of the day. Now, how many times did Kobe do it is the other half of the question.
Ooh. How many times in his career?
Nah, in that year, in 2007.
Oh, in that year. He did it. Yeah, cause that year, that's the year he went crazy.
He went crazy.
2007.
Mhm.
Ooh, it's gonna be some. Is it? It's gonna be some outrageous number. Um, I'm gonna go with like I'm gonna go with a solid five. I'm gonna go 5 times that season he did it, back to back
Hmm,
50-point games.
that's it's pretty close. That's
What was it,
so you get a little bit of credit from me. He actually went back to back 4 straight games
bro?
in March,
I was gonna say four.
but not just four in that season. Game in the 2006 2007 season.
Oh man, we having some problems, but he cutting out really bad.
Kobe did it 4 straight games, Josh, back to back to back to back in the month of March.
Wow, it was
Yeah,
four. It was four, so that was the correct answer.
yeah. The correct
Why?
answer was four. Four straight.
Why didn't I go with my good? I was thinking for it the whole time, but I was like, no, I'm gonna round it up. I rounded up to five.
Always trust your gut, buddy.
I should have trusted my gut. Remember that, kids. Trust your gut.
Always.
Did you
When you
see?
don't trust your gut, is when you play yourself.
No, did you see Charles Barkley yesterday? his
I
message,
forgot what he said, but I
his
heard
message
him.
to the kids. He's like, "Remember, kids, don't get hit first. Swing first.
Yeah. He's about swing first.
Don't get hit first." Oh
Charles
man.
Barkley. America, swing first.
Remember that, kids. Swing first. All right, swing first, and trust your gut on them tests you guys take. Don't second guess yourself. Don't play yourself. But all right, that's enough for the question of the day segment. We're gonna move on to some NFL news. The No Fun League. Yeah, we talking about the No Fun League. We talking about the No Fun League. The most interesting part of the No Fun League, this week, or this is this week, was Diddy. Diddy made a lot of news, or people were talking about it throughout the sports sphere, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. Diddy's planning, or he wants to buy the Carolina Panthers, who Jerry Richardson put up for sale in a letter over the weekend, I think. So this caught my attention for one, but I just wanted to see what my buddy Rev thought about it. Like, what are you excited about this? Does this excite you that Diddy wants to buy it, or is it something that you just think is kind of like him just saying that, or just kind of like selling false dreams or something like that?
I think he's serious. After your question, he mentioned less than what a month or two ago that he was interested in potentially owning the team, and if not, maybe working on his own league. Um, so the fact that this opportunity opened up not too long after him making that known that he wanted to get into ownership is, I mean, I'm not gonna say divine intervention or nothing crazy like that, but it's quite a coincidence. So the fact that he voices a desire to do something like that, and not too long after a franchise became available, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't hop on it if he, was really serious about that. And then the fact that the money that Diddy has, the people he knows, and the support that he'll get, he could easily, I think it's doable. So it's kind of exciting. It'd be something interesting to see because we got so many black moguls in the entertainment world that did so much. Diddy did music, did clothing, is doing alcohol right now. So if he owned a team too, that'd be insane just to be able to see the progression as far as a businessman. Um, and Al Sharpton thinks that Diddy could do it just because he brings a great mix from having that knowledge of the business world and then also having that celebrity pizzazz, that lifestyle. So he'd be a nice mix. So I think it'd be interesting, It'd also be nice to see a black owner and a younger owner. Most of the ownership in any league is older white dudes, so it'd be different. It'd be
Yeah,
a nice shakeup.
yeah. This is what I want. I want not only Diddy to own this team, I want him to hire a black GM, if not just play the GM himself. I want him to hire a black coach. Get get my boy from Pittsburgh. What's his name? Mike Timmons. What's his name? No, that's not his name. I can't. Mike Tomlin. Get Mike Tomlin up there.
Yeah, yeah, Tomlin.
Tony Dungy, Herm Edwards. Get one of them. I want them to have all black players. All
So you
black
trying to make it
players.
you essentially trying to make it the '84 like the '80s Boston Celtics.
Yes, all
Maybe a
black.
couple white boys,
I
but
need
mostly black.
I need all black. I need all black players, and they all gonna take a knee during the national anthem.
They gonna play the
Um,
Negro national anthem. They gonna play.
yeah. They gonna have that. They gonna stand for the that. They're gonna not practice on Martin Luther King Day once they headed to the Super Bowl. All Black History Month. They're gonna have barbecues and cookouts. So yeah, all the players gonna be black. So the punter gonna be black. The kicker gonna be black. The long snapper gonna be black. They gonna find some cats and they just gonna all be black, okay? Because there's only a handful of black athletes in those three positions. They all gonna be black. They gonna get the boy from the punter from Oakland Raiders. They gonna get
Okay, okay.
Cam Newton already at quarterback. So that's cool. They got to get rid of Christian McCaffrey, who's the running back right now. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, once Diddy becomes the owner, it's gonna be the first all black um, team in the NFL, and we're gonna start a movement. We're gonna start a movement, and everybody gonna be the going to the games. We're gonna change the name from tailgating. We're just gonna change it to barbecuing and cookouts. That's what this gonna be. It's not gonna be tailgating no more. Black people don't tailgate. That's something that's just something that they started to call it. It's gonna be
True.
cookouts. It's gonna be cookouts before the game. We're gonna take over that whole stadium. It's gonna be full of black people. We're gonna all support, and them they gonna be upset. All them white racist people gonna be upset down there in Carolina.
Oh yes, they gonna throw a fit.
Cause Carolina is one of them states. North Carolina is one of them states. So
True.
yeah, this is I like it. As you can tell, I'm excited. I want Diddy to buy this Panthers team, and I want them to be successful. And it's just gonna be one more thing that we good at, which is owning a football team. Magic Johnson already doing his thing with the Lakers and the Dodgers.
You know, he doing it on both sides.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about Diddy. But no,
Well,
on a serious note,
I was gonna say in theory that sounds, but execute not likely.
yeah, on a serious note, I want I would love to see Diddy own the franchise. Um, I think it's a step forward at least, if not anything. And it just gets somebody in the door, whether he's got 100% good intentions for the African American community or not. I still think it's well, I would obviously much prefer him to have that foot or be, have that uh have the kind of the support and supporting us, and and I expect that from him. But to see that, it would be dope. Um and maybe he can make some changes with the way they operate. Probably not, because it's hard to change the way old people operate. But
Right.
that would be dope to see.
Yeah, that like I said, I just think it would be interesting. I think the fact that he's so well versed in business endeavors, it'd be something like, dang, what can't he do if he could get this to go his way? And then the support he's got, Curry said that he want to be involved. Kaepernick said he'd love to be involved. And as I mentioned, Al Sharpton supports it. So I'm sure there's a lot of people. He just got so many connects. You might see Khaled get involved. I mean, so I'm sure they could form an ownership group in no time. So
True,
I think that would be very interesting.
true.
Something that has slowly started to become a more popular fixture in the American popular American sports, NFL and NBA. People of color trying to get more into the ownership side of things and break that color barrier, shake some things up. So
Mhm.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, of
I think it'd be
course.
cool. I mean, I don't see why not. Besides the fact that I'm sure there's a lot of white people that will try to find reasons they don't want Diddy to own it. But realistically, I mean, what does an owner really do? They don't do much. So why do you have such a problem with people doing it? I don't see who couldn't be an owner with the right money. It's not like it really requires a lot, so go ahead and do it. You know.
Right.
So I'm all for it.
He
I
can
think
do
it'd
it,
be dope.
man.
Yeah.
He should at least if he does do it, at least find a black GM or something like that. That's just me. That's all I'm saying. I ain't gonna say no more.
Just to round it out.
Yeah, get the head
I got you.
office, all them up there. But we're gonna
Okay.
move on
Okay.
to the next topic. Uh, this is special requested from my boy Rev. He wanted to talk about some college basketball this week because we ain't really talking about college basketball all year. So he wanted to talk about his boy. You know, he his people from Oklahoma. So he rep all the Oklahoma teams. OKC. That's the only
Mm,
professional franchise they got, but he also reps the
true.
college teams down there. So he likes the OU, and OU star right now, freshman Trey Young, is
Boomer Sooner.
all absolutely balling right now.
Hey, I just
So
like to point out, by the way, we having a solid year, man. We got my boy on that gridiron tearing it up. And now we got that boy on the hardwood going crazy too.
yeah,
We got some
it's
we got
just
some
like
ballers.
back in 2000, the late 2000s when y'all had Sam Bradford down there, and y'all
Mm-hmm.
had at the same time y'all had Blake Griffin down there. It's the same.
I'm
It's the same
saying,
thing.
bro, it's
It's just the
crazy, right?
same. So y'all OU is right back. They right back at the top of everybody's watch list. Okay.
Right, right.
All right, so we want to talk about Trey Young, I definitely want to let you lead on this and just see what you got, see what you think about Trey Young, and have you watched him play at all, and what you like about his game, what you don't like about his game.
See, unfortunately, just with I'd be in
Oh,
class
say
all the time.
oh, stop.
Oh,
So you gotta say it again. You gotta cut it out
you
real
got me?
bad.
You got
Yeah,
me?
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, just for working so much, working 20 hours a week, and I haven't been able to catch many of his games, but I do watch tape. It's one of my favorite things to do is watch tape on players, and just some facts for y'all. Hold up, excuse me, just some big facts. Out
Big
of
Fox.
4,000 plus NCAA D1 basketball players, Mr. Young leads them all in points and assists. Okay, so the boy is a baller. First of all, tonight, for example, or I guess that would be last night technically. He had 31 points, 12 assists, and he shot 8 for 13 from deep. So the boy is a sniper. Not only is he a bucket getter, but he can shoot the lights out from behind the arc. And then Tuesday night, he had a 2020 game, which you don't see often on any level realistically. But he had 26 points to go along with 22 assists, which tied a record. So the boy can play some ball, man. In between watching him ball this season and then continuing to see what the Sooners do out there on the football field, I'm excited for OU. The city going crazy, bro. It's going crazy.
What is that, Norman, Oklahoma? Sounds like a boring city. But anyway, Trey Young.
Oklahoma in general is
Uh, yeah, I bet, just like Missouri.
boring.
But I actually like just kind of like you. I haven't got the time to watch him play. I know I'm gonna see him eventually. Definitely,
Mm-hmm.
definitely in probably later in the season, March Madness. I'm gonna definitely catch him.
Oh, yeah,
But
for sure.
just kind of taking a look at his stats, I do like most of it. And I'm kind of the one thing that does catch my eye is his 3-point percentage. It's really
Yeah.
low. But I mean, he's still a freshman. That's to be expected, and he's taking a lot of threes per game. Actually, that's something else that it's he's taking about 10 threes a game, and he's only making about three and a half of them. And obviously that may either go up or go down as the season goes on. But I don't know. I'm gauging on really whether he should stay if he keeps this up. He's obviously probably should go to the NBA next year. But
Go ahead and take it while you got it.
yeah, take it while you got it. And it's just if it doesn't make any sense to have a season like this, even even if you're a freshman, to stay another year. Because if you were the top pick, the only way to go down after being, or if you projected to be a top pick, which he's probably not even projected to be, just because of the boy from Duke. Can't think of
Yeah,
his name.
Bagley out there.
Yeah. Bagley. Bagley at Duke, and even still Michael Porter, even though he's hosing Mizzou right now. But that's aside the point. Um, but if he keeps this up, you gotta project him in a maybe top 5, top 10, and there's no upside to stand any longer for real.
Mm-hmm.
But in his case, it might be upside just because he will be in a draft class without Bagley and Porter, and next year's draft class probably doesn't presume to be as good as those two. Um, but I just think if he could keeps this up, it might even be arguable that he's better than the Bagley, or he might even get more looks than Porter, just because Porter's not even playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think
People are taking Porter based on potential. Very
yeah,
young. You
yeah.
flex on.
If this man is averaging 30 points a game and 10 points, or sorry, 10 assists a game, and his
Mm-hmm.
turnovers, I'm looking at his turnovers. His turnovers aren't horrible. I mean, it's 4 right now, but like I said, once again, he's a college freshman.
Mm-hmm.
Four turnovers to 10 assists a game. That's pretty fair. And he's also getting 2 steals a game. So he's playing some defense out there. But it's still early on in the season, only 10 games in.
Yeah.
So obviously it'll just remains to be seen. I think if he really shows out in the tournament, in the conference tournament, and in the NCAA tournament, even if they don't even got to really get far, but in the games that they're in, if they make it to like the Sweet 16 and he balls,
Oh
like
yeah.
think about Stephen Curry when he was in the tournament, like his
Mm-hmm.
sophomore year, they didn't
He
make it
just went
very
crazy.
far, but he just clearly dominated the teams that he played
Right.
in and was just miraculous. And just based on his sophomore year and even his junior year, um, in the tournament. Well, it was really based on the sophomore year in the tournament and the entire season of his junior year. People were watching him, keeping an eye on him. That allowed him to be what, a seventh overall pick in the draft. So if Trey Young can ball
Yeah.
out like that, keep this up, and maybe he's gonna. I mean, he might slow down eventually, but then pick it back up in the tournament. It's just no upside for him to stay.
Yeah.
It's the
I mean,
only way he can go is down at that point if you're a top 5 pick, honestly. If we're being honest, because when your top 5 pick is really a toss up of who's going to pick you, who's going to be the worst team in the NBA, or who's going to win the lottery and is going to need to make you a top pick. So,
right.
but like I said, 10 games in, um,
11. They 10-1 right now.
okay, 11 games in. Okay,
They
I
off
think
to a decent start.
yeah, I'm looking at his stats. I think he's only played 10 of them though.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got
Yeah, but yeah, and today he had like 28 points in the first half. I mean, he only ended up with 31, but it was because they were blowing him out.
you. Right. Of course, he easily could have went off.
Yeah,
At that point,
he
the
had
play
31
was
points in only 28 minutes,
right.
27 minutes. That's nuts. And even against the good teams, he's been playing really well. He got 29 versus Wichita State and 29 versus USC, both top 25 teams. So man, this Trey Young kid, a lot of people weren't talking about him because of Michael Porter and Bagley
Mm-hmm.
coming into their first college freshman year, but he was uh, in the top 25 recruiting class, 5-star athlete, and he's making some noise now. Everybody's talking about him. He's leading, like you said, leading the country in points and assists, and it's going to catch people's eye when you do that.
Yeah. And I mean, as of right now, he's 38. But the fact that
Hold up, you
13,
cutting out. You cutting out. I'm gonna start that sentence over.
my bad.
Starting now. Go ahead.
He's shooting 38% from three, and tonight shot 8 for 13. Last game 3 for 6. So he's been floating in between that 36% to 50 something% range. If he can just get that consistent, I mean, he can score regardless. He's a scorer. It don't matter where you put him on the floor, but if he can get that 3 point percentage, just at best around 40 plus 42 at least, That'd be great because right now he almost shooting 48% period. Like you said, almost averaging 30 points. He's got 28.5 so far. So he's doing great. So he's definitely gonna be somebody to look out for. And we were talking about tournament, but we've seen players that got drafted based off of just potential. They could have
Hmm.
not even made the tournament, or they got to the tournament and flopped. And
Yeah.
because you've seen what they can do, pick them up anyway. Like Ben Simmons, you saw what he could do. He didn't do a damn thing as far as leading LSU to the what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say now. To the tourney. He didn't
Right.
do anything really to lead them to the tourney. That was a letdown for a lot of people, but there was no way you weren't going to pick him number one or at least
Yeah.
top two or three.
Yeah. But
So,
in opposition to that, the only downside to somebody like Trey Young is his size, because a lot of the players that you're talking about, like where they're drafted off the potential, they're big guys, and when you got somebody that's big
true.
and tall like that, where are the center, they're typically centers. People that get drafted are off of potential are typically
Bigger guys,
centers,
front court players.
or yeah, front court players, or tall forwards that have skills that most forwards don't have. LeBron James, Michael Porter is going to get drafted off potential. Um, like you said, Ben Simmons is basically getting drafted off potential. He didn't really show much in his college career. But the one guy that did get drafted, who is a guard, mostly off potential, he only played 11 games at Duke. And I'm sure there's more, but the ones that's coming to my head now is obviously is Kyrie Irving. He was drafted for the most part off potential. He only played, like I said, 11 games while he was at Duke.
Right.
Um, but in those 11 games, he showed out and showed up and showed out. So I mean, it's possible, but a lot of those guys who get drafted off of potential are bigger guys, like I said, that are either they know you're going to be able to dominate, or they know you're going to be able to control the floor really well, and you got a lot of size on you. So,
True.
but it'll be remain. It's a reign to be seen. We'll see what people are how people are placing them in their mock drafts or draft boards or whatever, and how he continues to play the season. But yeah, he's an exciting player. But we're just gonna mosey on to the professional league. We're gonna talk about some NBA. Well, NBA kind of news, I guess. It's not. This is not even. This is. I guess it's really more so college news, to be honest. LeVar Ball, the father of Lonzo, if everybody knows that, is announced a couple days ago that he's going to be starting a basketball league where for students coming out of high school that don't want to go to college and they want to make some money playing against the best of the best of the best, sir. Um, and and this is basically he's trying to use it as an alternative to college. Um, so he's gonna. I think the lowest. I think most of the players are gonna be paid $3,000 a month. With I wish I can make that a month. And
For
then
real.
the best players of the league will be making 10,000. So basically, up to $10,000 a month for some of these players that are coming fresh out of high school. You're 18, 19 years old, and you making up to $10,000 a year. Yeah, anybody, any if you're not taking that as a high school student, you're crazy. To play a sport, you're crazy. Um, and one of the stipulations was they all the athletes will have to wear the triple big baller brand shoes and all the clothing and stuff, everything that they provide for you.
Which
So
is probably which probably isn't that serious. Because I mean, he don't make his wear the triple Bs. They can wear whatever they want, as we saw the lines on the summer league. So that was partially more than likely comedic, but shoot, I wear whatever you want, LeVar.
right.
3,000 a month?
Yeah,
Bet.
and my thoughts on it was, first of all, I think this is a brilliant idea,
Mm-hmm.
and in so many ways than just the fact that it's going to allow students to allow kids to make some money out of high school and not have to go to college, and that's it. That's I mean that's the main thing. I mean, so these basketball players coming out of college, or sorry, coming out of high school, a lot of them have been wanting to go to straight to the NBA, and it's not the best step we've seen players coming out of high school and they're just not ready for the NBA, and they end up turning into a bust, um, aka Kwame Brown. Um, and they're not ready, and this can serve as a league where it gets them ready. Hopefully, it teaches them, like, it doesn't worry about the stuff that you got to learn in colleges, because a lot of it is BS. Let's be honest. I'm in college. I've been through my freshman year of college. It's
Yeah.
BS. Even for a journalism student, it's BS. And the other half of it, they're not even really teaching you about growing and potentially being in the NBA anyway, because only a small percentage of the players in college are even going to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So this could serve as a league that, even if you're not going to the NBA, you're making money off the bat. And if you are going to the NBA, hopefully, like I said, they're gonna be given knowledge about uh, financial issues, about all the stuff about that's hopefully going to relate into the opposite of what that 30 for 30 documentary talked about so many NFL and basketball players going broke after they retired from or got out of the leagues, professional leagues. And then not only that, it's just gonna, if this league, basketball league, is successful, it's gonna completely change the NCAA scope of student athletes, of not paying their student athletes, because eventually all basketball players are gonna completely bypass college, especially the ones that plan on going to the NBA, and are top prospects. They're not even going to think about going to college. They're obviously going to go to this league, and that's just going to change everything about. I believe it's going to change everything about the NCAA, because you don't even have to be the top prospect to get in this league, and that's going to take away from so many of these schools who are arguably really using these athletes, kind of against their will. Not really against their will, obviously, but using them and exploiting them in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it would just be amazing to see how that entire scenario plays out. All that coming into fruition would just be completely awesome, and it'll probably be um maybe a decade down the line before it well, I mean, it really ain't even got to be that big. It just depends on how big of a jump start it has when it finally comes into the league starts. And if the league starts off with a bang, it's going to be maybe 3 or 4 years before we really start to talk about college or high school athletes going into this league. So, and that's just going to be crazy. That's going to shake the whole NBA basketball, um, global, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, for sure. Like, just in my opinion, if I'm a talented guy, I mean, you think of a guy like a Michael Porter Jr. Do you really think he would have wasted his time going to Mizzou? Just
Absolutely not.
disregarding the injury. Of
Absolutely
course he
not.
wouldn't. Because Michael Porter Jr. been ready for the league for a couple years.
Yeah.
Ain't no way he would waste his time going to school. Like you mentioned, freshman year is just BS.
Uh, the
It's
main
just,
the main
it's
reason he
filler
wanted
courses.
the main reason he wanted to go to college was to give his dad a job.
Right.
That's the only reason he was going to college.
You got that nice little cool thing of program.
Say it again. You cut it out.
And so then you got that little thing about, oh, my siblings were all the same program. Besides that, that man didn't want to go to college. I mean, we don't really know the depth of the injury, but it wouldn't surprise me if part of this injury thing has to do with, I don't want to be here. So I
Yeah.
just, for a guy like that's that talented, or Marvin Bagley, who had to reclassify just to get out of high school to go to college, realistically, if he could have, he probably wouldn't even wasted his time doing all that. He would play to this junior league or whatever it is. And then the fact that, if it takes off in a similar way like Big Three did, when he was talking about it, people were like, "No way, could he really do that? That would be cool." And he started getting it moving, and arenas were pretty full for him. I would watch him on TV, and people were really interested in wanting to see what other type of players would join. So if LeVar can really get this up and moving and get a decent buzz about it, having that many talented high school guys decide not to go to college route is going to bring buzz because a lot of people watch college basketball simply for players. It's not a lot of people that watch it because of a team affiliation. They watch it to see specific players. So
Right.
if you got these specific players you really want to see develop and grow, and they going to join in this league opposed to going to a Duke or a Kentucky or something like that, that's going to really bring in some viewership. And then obviously the league is close out trying to see where players are at to see if they want to pick from there. So, there's no way that it's not going to be buzz around it. And I just do like the fact the millions of dollars that schools make off of these athletes, and the most you can give them is a scholarship. And don't get me wrong, a scholarship is a beautiful thing, but especially for these guys, it's one and done. This players will stay a couple years. There's football players that'll go until they graduate and try to go into the draft. But most basketball players, they there for real. They there for basketball season. After basketball season's done, I'm done.
Right.
So you know, just the fact that they make so much money off of these, especially with March Madness, and
Yeah.
people are betting money outside of people around the world are making money playing off the tournament, but these guys can't get nothing.
Yeah.
So
And
of course,
another thing to think about that I'm just thinking about, because one thing you got to realize is I feel like, in my opinion, part of this has to do with the fact that he doesn't even want his kids to be in the in college, or even like he basically took his both his kids out of college because Leangelo or Lamelo, he gave him an agent, and it basically ended his like eligibility for even playing for college, and he did that a while ago. So with that being said, Leangelo is only a sophomore in high school, so it's also going to be interesting to see what's the age limit of this league, because if the age limit is high school students, like if he's making an AAU team basically, or an AAU league basically, what they're getting paid, all these players, if you get paid, if they decide to go in this league, they're getting paid, which means that ends their I believe that it means that ends their eligibility for college. I might be wrong
mm-hmm.
about that, but that I feel like that has a little to do with, or has that might be the case. And if that is the case, and the age limit is, say, whatever age Lamelo is at right now, or if next year maybe he'll be 16, 17, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the age limit, that means you're gonna have 17-year-olds in this basketball league getting paid completely for going college now, and it just completely messes up this entire system that they've put in place. And it's just gonna be really, the crazy thing is being done by a black man by himself who's a father of three kids. Like, it's completely like unheard of. Like, nobody's ever
Yeah,
even thought of this stuff, and now all of a sudden, this man 2 years ago, nobody knew who LeVar Ball was.
right. If you weren't,
Nobody even really knew who Lonzo Ball was. 2 years. That's just 2 years.
yeah,
2015,
if
and
you
really early on in early 2016, nobody knew. So maybe, yeah. I mean, that's basically two years ago.
right, if you didn't go to Chino Hill or live in that area, none of that.
Hello, I couldn't hear anything you said.
I said if you didn't live in the Chino Hill area or go to any of their games or any of that, you didn't know who the Ball family was. And if you
Right.
didn't know about LeVar playing on like practice squads and stuff like that for the NFL, you wouldn't know who. So, you know, a couple years ago, as you mentioned, they were very low key until people started realizing, look, this boy is good. Wait, his two brothers are good too.
Right.
So the fact that he just kind of took the world by storm and got his family's name buzzing, and then hold up, they got a brand. And then, like you say, even before he got Lamelo an agent, he made Zoe a shoe, and Leangelo couldn't really get into that because he was going to UCLA. So he didn't want to break any of those rules by publicly endorsing the brand or getting his own shoe. That would have been a problem. He made Lamelo a shoe earlier this year, so people are like, okay, well, what's that gonna do? As far as NCAA or NCAA is concerned, can he have his own shoe? Da 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 da. And he was like, they can't tell me what to do with my boys, you know, blah, 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 blah. So we all kind of saw it coming, like, he might not go to college.
Right.
Especially after he took LaMelo out of school. We were like, yeah. But then you got LiAngelo in this whole situation with UCLA, which is still kind of debatable to me whether he actually did anything. He'd say he did take the classes. But when they asked him on the Breakfast Club interview, like, you got money. Like, you know you could have bought them. Did you really take the classes? And he was like, yeah, I took them. So it's kind of like, okay, if you say so.
Right.
But, you know, he was on an indefinite sideline role. You never really knew when he was going to do something. Exhibition games, and he was stuck with this whole situation. You never knew when he was going to play. So to be able to just be like, okay, you know what? You're out of here. And then send them boys professionally, that might change the wave. Because you can just, I mean, seeing what this man did with his kids, and if it works out for them, seeing that, okay, my boy doesn't have to go to college. We already know he's talented enough to make it to the league. You know, these players like Porter, Bagley, even a Trae Young, you know, looking at his potential so far, I'm sure your parents know watching your games all your life for Jason Tatum. We knew since he was in freshman, sophomore year of high school, this kid could probably make it. He's good.
Right.
So if you're the parent of a kid like that, you're probably not gonna waste their time to go get an education because a lot of professional players go to school during the summer anyway. So being able to see that there's this program set for them and they can make their money and get prepared to go to the league, you'd be a fool not to accept that and look at it. And then it's going to force the NCAA to have to do something because if they start losing quality, high-profile players to this, you know, big baller brand league or whatever, they're going to have to start thinking, man, we got to incentivize these kids somehow to bring our pull back because we're losing a grip on those top prospects. We're getting people, but we're not getting those big name dudes. So it's going to force the NCAA to do something. And I don't know. I can't wait to see it take off. I want to see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'll support it
It's
for sure.
exciting. I'm gonna give me a triple B shirt as long as it's not
One of these days, yeah.
more than $30.
Well, you ain't getting one then.
Okay, well then look.
Yeah, I guess you got to get you a little baller brand.
I'm an LBB.
Yeah, you an LBB, bro.
Yeah,
Ain't no
okay.
under $30.
A big baller. You're not a big baller then.
Right. you can't afford these $400 shoes. You ain't a big.
Right. All right. Last topic of the day. Christmas. Christmas is around the corner. 2 days away now. We rolled over into the 23rd. So it's 2 days away from now. Christmas is around the corner and we want to talk about some Christmas basketball. Or we want to make some Christmas basketball picks. Ain't that right, Riv? Ain't
That
that
right.
right, Romero?
That right too.
All right. All right. So are we supposed to be placing a bet?
Yeah. Which? Let me see. How many games you got
It's
on the
5 games.
5 games. You want to bet $1 a game, bro?
Yeah, let's bet a. Want to bet? Okay. Yeah, we could bet $1 a game.
I guess the only problem here is though we can't pick the same team,
That's okay.
and that's gonna be rough for us because I'm sure some of these teams we both think will win.
Yeah, that's okay though. We're gonna. I'm a. Um. We're gonna pick. So wait, first of all, there's your favorite team is playing on Christmas. It's my favorite team playing on Christmas. So um, those two games are we obviously. I'm gonna let you pick the Thunder and you can let me pick the Warriors. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
True. I'll
Cool.
take that.
Um,
By
and
the
then
way, you won't be getting a big baller brand shirt for under $50. 50
uh,
is the lowest they go.
okay,
I
50,
just checked.
50. Maybe if I start getting paid and making money,
Right.
I might get a
I
$50 shirt.
mean, you can get you a stocking cap. They 30, 25, I think. So you know, you can start
Stocking
small.
cap, like a hat,
Yeah,
like a
yeah, like
over
a
my
hat,
ears.
a beanie. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Stocking cap. Okay. Yeah, I might. I'd rather get the dang hat than the shirt for $50.
Right. I'll rock a hat.
Okay, so those two games we can obviously those that we got that out the way, and then Philly. So we got Philly versus Knicks. We got Wizards versus the Celtics, and we got Timberwolves versus the Lakers. And I'll pick one. You pick one, and I don't know. We flip a coin on the other if we're indifferent.
Bet.
All right. So first off, like I said, the first two games you got Cleveland versus the Warriors. I'm taking the Warriors. You're going to get the Cavs. Rockets versus Thunder. You're going to take the Thunder. I'm going to get the Rockets. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the Rockets depends. It depends on how Chris Paul is feeling. If Chris Paul plays, I honestly doubt it.
No,
I
you
think
got to
the
take the
Rockets got that.
Thunder.
But no, I would take the Thunder. They've played well against the top tier team before, but like I said, Chris Paul is a huge difference maker for Houston. So if he sit out, the Thunder should be good.
Yeah.
James Harden dropped 51 and still lost in 2 consecutive games. So he
Wait,
could
they
drop
lost?
51.
They lost
They
today?
lost. They lost to the Clippers.
Oh, they
Austin
lost
Rivers
and
had
they
like
scored
37
51?
points. Yes.
Wow.
So if Chris Paul don't play, we good because James Harden dropped 50 again and they'll still lose.
How?
So
How the hell did they
hey,
lose?
because Lou Williams and Austin Rivers combined for 70 something. They both had 30 something.
Dang. Okay.
Right. And I think DeAndre Jordan had 20. So yeah.
All right. All
But
right. So
anywho,
you picking? Who you picking for the Philly versus New York? New York.
I'm gonna go. The Sixers are good, but they're just not the same team without Joel Embiid. And then with the Knicks, you got Beasley who can drop 30. He's done it the past couple games. Uh, and they won the other day. Who did they play? They played the Celtics. The Knicks, Beasley dropped 32, and Kristaps Porzingis had 1 point, and they beat the Boston Celtics, one of the best teams in the league. So if Beasley has a decent night, scores about 20, and Kristaps has a good game, they should be all right. I think they can beat the 76ers without Joel Embiid.
Are you going with the Knicks?
Yeah, I think I'm
Uh,
going to go Knicks.
dang,
I think Knicks
I
got it.
thought you was gonna go with Philly. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll
No.
take Philly then. Is Emma, how long is MB supposed to be out?
I don't know. I don't know if he'll be back. I'm not sure.
Okay, you cut out real bad, but I got the gist of what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick this next one, and uh, I just gotta go. I'm gonna go with the this year's MVP. I'm gonna go with Kyrie.
Stop it. Stop it.
I don't think he's gonna actually win MVP up to this point, but that's the pick I made early in the season, so I'm sticking with it. So I'm going Kyrie in Boston right now. They lost, like you said, they lost to the Knicks a couple days ago. So I watched that game, and it was just because they couldn't stop Beasley.
Melo on the
And
left side of the court.
yeah, he should have. Melo should have listened to him, but he didn't. And now he's looking at the bench. And Wizards, they just seem like they should be so good, but they just not. And it's frustrating because Brad Beal and John Wall are two really good players, and I like both of them, but they
Hasn't
just
John Wall sat a couple games though?
yeah, he was out. He was out for a minute, but even with that, they weren't winning when he was playing.
Yeah.
So
They always that team is hit or miss. Some nights they are just amazing. And some nights you
yeah,
really? That's what y'all for
yeah, and
real?
maybe Christmas is one of those nights where they come and show up and show out.
Well, the only reason I would pick the Wizards, I would say the Celtics have just seemed to struggle a little bit recently. They've dropped 2 in a row. So if the Wizards can put together one, they might be able to make that 3 in a row. But at the same time, I'm sure that Kyrie and the Boston Celtics don't want to lose a third. So it should be a good game. The Celtics Wizards, although the Celtics roster is pretty much brand new, it's been a decent rivalry over the last season or so. So it should be a fun game.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so on this last game, we're gonna flip a coin to see who gets to pick first. Okay, I got a coin in my hand. I'm gonna let you call it, and then I'm gonna flip it. All right, I ain't gonna cheat.
Heads.
I ain't got no reason to cheat.
I'm gonna go heads.
All right, you going heads? Flip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm catching it. Oh wait, I got to flip it again. I'm gonna catch it and then look at it. Flip. Ah, it's tails.
Mm.
I get to go first, and I am going to pick. I'm probably going to pick the team that you probably going to pick the Lakers anyway. I'm going to pick Timberwolves.
Hey, there we go.
Yep, I'm going to pick Timberwolves. Uh, I think the Lakers have been impressing people lately, but I would like to see Minnesota. Um, I just want to see Minnesota win. I don't really even have a reason to pick them. I kind of had a feeling you were going to pick the Lakers, so I'm picking Minnesota. But
Smart, man. Smart.
yeah, this is going to be the game nobody really watches, just because it's
Yeah.
the last game.
It'll be the last game
Well,
of the day.
I am
People
I
will be busy.
I am going to watch it. Actually, I do want to watch it just because Shaq, Kenny, um, Charles Barkley, and Ernie Johnson are all going to be calling it. So that's going to be hilarious. I'm sure they're going to be talking a bunch of you know what.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try to, and I still probably won't even be able to hear him just because I might be at like a family thing or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I'm only picking Lakers based off the fact that over the last few games, Lonzo Ball has been a different player than we've seen as far as scoring. He's been doing a lot better. Tonight, I think he had 24.
Oh wow.
And Kuzma has had 3 straight 25-point plus games. Um, and the Lakers have just been impressive lately. They've had some stretch here. A week or two ago, they beat the 76ers. That was a good game down to the wire. And then just within this last week, they like made the Warriors work for a win the other night, and then they beat the Rockets, snapped their 14-game win streak, and they made the Warriors work for a win tonight. The Warriors only won 113-106. So they made the Warriors work twice. And then I know you can go with all that. Oh, well, they don't have. Still, just having KD as your only player. Do you remember
Still a
the
pretty good team.
2014 NBA?
I
Yeah, do you
was gonna
remember
say
the
that. I agree.
2014 NBA season? Like, yeah, so that man can do plenty by himself. So, I mean, there are people out there that I'm sure will discredit the Lakers because Golden State is missing players and Chris Paul missed half of the game against the Rockets, but they've just been impressive lately. Like I said, Lonzo's shot is starting to fall. He's doing a great job. Kuzma is just looking like a seasoned vet on the scoring end. Julius Randle has been putting up some decent numbers. So I think it'll be a great game between the young Bucks. I really do wish that it was 76ers Lakers though. That would have been a more entertaining game for me. I think more people would have watched that one.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
yeah, but the Timberwolves are supposed to be good. They got all these new players.
the
Um,
Timberwolves have been decent this year. I just,
yeah,
as far as appeal goes, Lakers 76ers sounds more appealing to me than Knicks Sixers or Lakers Timberwolves. I mean, I feel like the Timberwolves should have been playing a decent team like the Timberwolves Raptors match or something. Raptors don't get no Christmas. So to see the Timberwolves play a borderline contending team like themselves would be more entertaining to me. But
that's
I
fair.
think you should let the young guys play the young guys. I think that would have been a better matchup. But whatever. I don't make schedules.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. So we're gonna bet $1 a game. I look to get my $5 by the 27th.
Not
So
happen.
just make sure you get that to me.
Let me see. You pick Sixers, Warriors, Houston, Boston, and Minnie. So you might go away with. You might get $2 max.
Yeah. Okay.
That Houston game and that Minnesota game. You might get, but more than likely I'm getting $4. So
Hilarious. All right. Well, that's the show. That's all the topics that we got. We ended up still going. Every time we do this, we say we're going night. We got a topic per league, and we still managed to last a little more than an hour. But it's all right. Actually, it's probably less
we
because
just can't be contained, Josh.
we did it took a while to start it actually before we. So it's probably gonna be a little less. I'm gonna trim it down when I upload it or whatever. But did you want to do speaking and shouting today?
We ain't even got to do it, bro. I'm
Oh,
trying to
you
shop
know?
my way under the sheet.
Okay.
Unless you got something in particular you want to talk about. Oh, you know
Dang.
what? No, I do have something. I do have something.
What you got? What you
I'm
speaking and
just
shouting?
I'm speaking facts, but I'm shouting it for the ones in the back been doubting. So, the young man he's been dealing with a lot of people
Oh man, hold up, hold up,
busts.
hold up. You cutting out, man. Hold up. I don't want you to miss out on you speaking the show.
You
Good?
hear me now?
Yeah, I can
I'm
hear
clear. Are we on the air?
you. Yeah, we on the air.
All right. So yeah, he's unfairly been called a bust several times, but just by the numbers, although he hasn't been a great scorer until recently,
Who you talking about? Lonzo?
Lonzo,
Okay.
he's got 200 plus points, rebounds, and assists. Josh, I'm gonna tell you, he's one of 4 people to do that this season, and I'm gonna tell you the other 3 people: Ben Simmons,
Mm-hmm.
Russell
Rookie of the year.
Westbrook,
Okay, for last year's MVP.
and LeBron James.
Okay, potentially this year's MVP. And he's only one of four players to do that.
Only one of 4 players that have 250 points, 200 rebounds, 200 assists.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, but he's a bust, right? He also leads point guards, not rookies, all point guards in the association in blocks, and had one hell of a block on James Harden the other.
Yeah, I
So
saw that.
I was just throwing out some eye dropping, some jaw dropping, eye opening numbers, because Lonzo gets a bad rep for several reasons, but numbers don't lie. He's one hell of a ball player.
Yeah.
Well, you in the same, forget Ben Simmons. Obviously, they're neck and neck in that regard. Very similar players. Ben Simmons is just bigger and he can slash better. But when you in the same conversation for both of those young men, when you in the same conversation as Russell Westbrook and LeBron James, as far as the things you can do on a basketball court, you're in pretty good hands. You're in some good company there. So far
This
from a
is
bust.
this is true.
So that's all I'm speaking about, man. I just had to clear that up. So a lot of people were on the Lonzo bandwagon, then they found out about the hate bandwagon and decided to jump on that. So I just had to clear it up that there's no reason for this hatred. This boy is a baller, a big baller. So
Okay.
put some respect on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I respect it. I do respect it. Since you spoke so well, I'm gonna quickly speak. Um, I don't even know. Well, I guess I'll speak on the St. Louis Cardinals real quick, just quickly. Like they, as you guys probably know, they picked up Marcelo Zuna. Um, Epic fail at trying to get Giancarlo Stanton, but retrospect, hindsight is 2020. I'm actually kind of glad. I prefer Ozuna over somebody like Giancarlo Stanton with the ridiculous contract that he had, and they were trying to take on $300 million of that contract. Um, so just kind of looking back at that, I think it was a better deal, even though I guess you don't have as much team control over Ozuna. He's only 27, and with Carlos Stanton, you would have basically his whole career. But I like Ozuna. I think our outfield is definitely set, and they're still trying to pick up Josh Donaldson. It'll be interesting to see if we can get that. But yeah, man, I like the moves that the Cardinals are making. Um, some of the players that they had to trade away to get Ozuna, kind of specifically Magneuris Sierra and even Sandy Alcantara. You guys don't even know who that is, but they were good young prospects, and I think it was well worth it, and hopefully Ozuna improves even more. 28, 28, 28, 29 year seasons, year old seasons are typically when baseball players peak. So who knows? He might end up in 40 home runs, something crazy like that. That would be crazy. But yeah, just wanted to shout out to Cardinals making moves this year. They're tired of not making the playoffs after just 2 years. So
They've had enough.
yeah, Cardinal Nation respects their efforts to get back in the playoffs and show Chicago Cubs who's the big brother still, even though they've been beating us. So yeah, speaking shout out to the Cardinals. I'm speaking on that. Much love to that organization, kind of sorta. It's a love hate thing. But yeah, that's all I got.
I dig it. What a show.
Yeah,
What a
that's a
show.
good show. All right, people. That is Straight Talk with Fella and Rev. Thanks for everybody that came out. And we appreciate
All 3 of
everybody
y'all.
who listens in the future because I'm uploading this to YouTube. Sorry, we've been struggling on the uploads to YouTube, but if you've been around, you've seen us on Instagram kind of doing this, and that's just a different way we're doing the little live streams. So we appreciate everybody coming out, listening. Thanks for the support. Anything you want to say, Mr. Reverend Romero?
Oh no, just hopefully more quality streams.
No, no. Every time you say something that's it's important, it cuts out.
All right. Well, on that note, Josh, I have to say.
And it cut out, but I know what you said. But all right.
Hashtag no comment.
Yeah, okay. I'm just here so I don't get fined. All right, people. Thank you for coming out again. Love you. Have a Merry Christmas. And hopefully we'll see you a couple days before New Year's. So see you then. Bye.